Hey guys, Monster here, bringing on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at LR, Kale and Caulifla. Unfortunately, if you saw my summons, you know that I got terrible luck on the banner, so I am having to resort to using the private server. I just couldn't pull them, so like, what am I going to do, you know? It's just one of those things, unfortunate though it may be. I think with the change of the schedule, it's very possible that this is going to be something that happens more and more often, because the global Dokkan campaign is the big thing that everyone should be saving for in July. And I don't whale out as much as I used to. I can't be dropping like hundreds of stones on every banner that comes out, especially before a big celebration like that that's advertised to be anniversary level. So we'll do some different team builds, trying them out. Obviously, we're going to start off with their own team. But yeah, I will have to use the private server. So sadly, no 55% showcase, because the one that I use doesn't have the option to do that. I think some of them do. But yeah, we are going to be checking them out. Rainbow level 10 links using their own team. So obviously, Universe 6, 220%. I mean, we've talked about it in the lead up to these, to this, like them coming out. I talked about it in the summon or skip video. I mean, this is what I think is probably the best build for the Universe 6 team at the moment. And not that I'm saying that the team is good. The fact that we even have STR Kale on here, you could be saying, oh, you know, where's physical trash can, physical Magetta? He's not very good, but you could probably argue he's better than STR Kale. But the thing is, we need the other unit, because we're running hit. We can only have one non-Peppy Gal's Universe 6 character if we want Tech Caulifla to have the over 100% chance to dodge. Right, she has 104% chance to dodge on this team. So that means she will dodge everything, even when we're not fighting a Pure Saiyan or Universe Survival Saga character. So that is pretty important. So these guys, obviously, they start off as Caulifla. They are the reversible exchange. Her 18 key super greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage, and then raises her dodge chance by 26% for 3 turns. And then all of her additionals raise attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, and then they give her a 6% dodge chance and crit chance. Yeah, it's only dodge on the 18 key, isn't it? Yeah, dodge and crit chance, 6%. So if she gets her 18 key super off, she gets 26% chance to dodge. If she does an additional, obviously it goes up to 32. Now, the big thing with Caulifla is the fact that she will automatically dodge the first attack of the turn. And that is really good. There's a lot of situations where, depending on the team that you're running her on, especially if you have like a scouter active or something, if you get into those situations where there's like one attack in a slot and it's the super, whether it's in slot 1 or 2 or 3, if you don't mind floating her depending on the team build, it means you know you can just put her there and she's just going to dodge, which is incredibly valuable, right? So her base effect, 6 key, 200% attack and defense. She gets an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. Dodges the first attack. Before she receives an attack, she has 20% damage reduction. After she dodges an attack, she gets attack and defense 120, launches an additional super attack, and has damage reduction of 40%. So bear in mind that this will always happen, because she always dodges the first attack. So she'll be getting that buff. She'll then have 60% damage reduction in total. Then when she gets hit, she'll lose this one, so she'll just have 40%. But this is for 6 turns, so the next time she appears, she still has this buff before she attacks, or before she dodges an attack. So then you could put her in slot 2, and she's still going to have these extra stats and the additional super. For every attack performed, she gets 2 key up to 6, and attack and defense 40% up to 120. If she gets 23 orbs, which is the entire field, she guaranteed dodges for the all attacks for the turn. And then starting from the 6th turn, you can meet up with Super Saiyan 2 Kale to exchange, and one time only she changes the entire field to physical, which means you can then either pick up all the orbs with her, or you can use Kale has a 23 key orbs picked up ability as well, which we will go into when we do actually get to exchange. So we'll see how we get on. Obviously, on the private server, no skill orbs, just a weird sort of build, 11 additional 15 crit. Probably not the ideal build for them. You probably want to go for a bit of dodge. Considering she isn't going to get attacked first, I might as well just put her in slot 2 here. And then we've got Oh, that was lucky. Get the 6 orbs for Kefla. Now, the problem with this Universe 6 team is we've got STR Kale and AGL Kale, who realistically aren't going to be great. I mean, if we get the active skills off, right, because I didn't talk about the active skill, but both Caulifla and Kale have an active skill. Kale's gives a buff just to the unit itself. Caulifla's gives a buff to all Universe 6 allies for the rest of the battle. So if you're running a full Universe 6 team and you use both the Kefla active skills, everybody on the team is getting this like double buff. And so maybe with that buff active, characters like STR and AGL Kale might be okay, like at least after supering. But like when it comes to these characters, like taking a super from the toughest bosses in the game is probably just going to be GG, right? Even STR Kefla, like she's still at that level, her EZA, where as long as you are getting a decent amount of attacks off with her and getting those attack stacks, she can hit some pretty decently high like numbers attack wise, but she will be dying to super attacks, right, from the toughest bosses. Now we do of course have int hit on the team. You know, hit considerably better than Goku when it comes to the Golden Week Dual Dokkan Fest. This Golden Week has been an absolute, like, no, Blowout is good, right? I guess, I don't know, the bad version of Blowout has been an absolute, like, crash out, whatever you want to call it for me. I haven't pulled any of the Golden Week units. I didn't get Goku or Hit. And then obviously my part 2 luck is has been terrible as well, and I didn't get Kale and Caulifla. So I'm hoping for some decent luck when the global Dokkan campaign rolls around. But I mean, this turn I'm a little bit worried. I probably should have actually just bought like a defensive item, maybe for like the turns where we don't have Kale and Caulifla. It also would have been very helpful if I'd noticed that the friend Kale and Caulifla was in slot 7, because I would have floated off the other Caulifla, because that puts us in a situation now where the next turn is double Caulifla rotation, which I don't really want. And STR Kale has no Caulifla on the rotation with her as well, so this could be super awkward for her, depending on how this goes here. I mean, they're all getting the full 220 lead, which is obviously good. But yeah, this team is just severely lacking. I said it before in like the Someone on Skip video and stuff, but like the fact that they didn't just easy A tech Kale and Caulifla straight away today is honestly baffling to me, because this team is so bad by not having the extra options for Universe 6, right? No tech Kale and Caulifla easy A, no int Carver sub easy A. I think even AGL Kale, like some people have said, oh no, it's way too early, but like give her an easy A. Because, yep, there we go. STR Kale getting absolutely destroyed by normals. Because we've got no Caulifla on rotation, so we have no... she doesn't have guard. So, just go ahead and jump back in. Let's see if we've got the actual... a decent amount of turns. Decent rotations here. We'll turn the animations off. Okay, yeah, there is a Caulifla on both turns. So, yeah, I mean, this team is not very good. The unit has the potential to be good, though, which is the interesting thing. What do I want to do here? I don't want AGL Kale taking loads of hits. I would ideally do this to see, like, Caulifla's dodge, but this obviously gives her the better link set active. So, I think we will do this. AGL Kale, hopefully only taking the one attack at the end of the turn, as long as it's not a super, should be okay. But yeah, I think that's the biggest drawback to this unit, and it's something that I think Dokkan needs to think about a lot more carefully, because sure, you can put her on other teams, but you would think like a selling point for the unit is that if you pull them, you can then use them, especially for Carnival LRs, right? They have a single 220% leader skill. You pull them and then you make their team, and then you jump into like the tough events and see how well it goes, right? Not only has there not been any new difficult events for Golden Week, but yeah, this unit has released and their team is just like substandard, right? 6 million attack stat for the first attack for Caulifla is not good either for a Rainbow level 10 links Carnival LR. I know she obviously builds up with each attack she does, and she has to attack a couple of times, and then of course after evading an attack she gets 120% extra. So both times we've started here there's been no attack in slot 1 for her to dodge, so bear in mind that does make a considerable difference. But yeah, seeing that from like a Rainbow Carnival LR, a 6 million attack stat is a little bit disappointing, but as I say, that will jump up massively because the next turn, now that she's evaded an attack, she's got 120% extra attack and defense for a couple of turns. She's also attacked a couple of times, which builds up that part of her passive. So the funny thing is, even though it was only 6 million this turn, it's going to be considerably more than that on the next turn. But even so, just for like initial impression, like seeing that on the first turn is a little bit disappointing, I think. But I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll just have to float Kale off here. So yeah, you can see here, this is a good scenario for Kefla, right? So for Caulifla, she's going to dodge this one attack in slot 1 automatically, get the 120% buff, then she's going to attack, which then builds up her dodge chance. So she's at 227 now. When she gets a dodge, obviously it's going to go up by 120%. So we're going to be a bit over 500k. And then obviously by super attacking, her defense is going to go up as well. 26% chance to dodge from the 18 key. And then an extra 6% for any more additionals that she gets after that. So obviously this is the kind of situation where a slot 1 super, perfect, there you go, is exactly what we want to see, right? Because she auto dodges that. See, that's more like it, right? When she's got a dodge, then it's 13 million, and that's without like Super Saiyan active. She gets the dodge, and now for the rest of the turn, even if she doesn't dodge the normals, her defense should be, at least in this early stage, her defense should be more than good enough to tank for double-digit damage, right? So get these additionals off here, 13 million. She has one from her passive. She has the guaranteed one from dodging. Obviously, the one from her passive was only a normal. Didn't get the hidden potential, but that obviously gives her that passive build-up as well, where she's getting the 40% per attack performed up to 120. So she got 3 attacks this turn. So that's all fully built up now as well. She keeps all of those stacks and everything for the extra turn. So we'll see when she's at the next turn what her start of turn stats are going to be, right? Same for the turn 1 Caulifla, who's going to be coming back onto the rotation here next. But yes, that's what I mean with units even like SCR Kefla, right? But especially pre-transformation, starting off early here against this Tech Goku Black, who doesn't really hit that hard, and then she's still taking like 50k from a normal that she doesn't dodge from him, is a bit on the sketchy side. But so what are we at now? See, start of turn 641k. I mean, that's not crazy. Obviously, she is going to be relying on dodge, right? Like, I guess this is the kind of scenario that works pretty well for her. Having hit in slot 1, because hit can be a very good slot 1 unit. Her in slot 2, so she gets the super attack first. Links well with a bunch of the Universe 6 girls that you could then just be floating in slot 3. And of course, because there's only one attack, it means that she will dodge that attack, right? And then, of course, like I said, with the build of the team the way we've done it here, Tech Caulifla has a 100 or over 100% chance to dodge. So she'll be fine as well. Hit post super is obviously going to be fine here. And then especially once we get him transformed as well. Not the best link setup for hit, although we do get like Warriors of Universe 6 and stuff like that. But hit's one of those anomaly kind of units when it comes to the Universe 6 team. Like even on his own team, like his link set, he doesn't really link well with a lot of the other Universe 6 characters because obviously most of the Premiere ones are Saiyans. But he is good enough to kind of hold his own, especially in slot 1 there when he's not being attacked first. Is a perfect opportunity for him to get his attacks off and get his stats up and everything first. So Caulifla dropping what, 17 odd million into a 12 additional. We get the guaranteed one from the having dodged. The one from her passive was only a normal. Then she gets the guaranteed dodge against the first attack of the turn. And then Tech Caulifla, obviously not doing crazy damage, but she will actually finish him off here at least. I was going to say, and then she couldn't be hit at the end there anyway, even if she didn't finish him off. So, decent enough start, I guess, but that took us to what? We're on turn 4. We can't exchange until we get to turn 6. So, but yeah, this is the situation where things will just be really bad for Caulifla, right? So Caulifla, she doesn't have any dodge chance outside of what she gets from her super attack effect, right? So that means on this turn, if we put her in slot 1, she would guarantee dodge the first attack here from Zamasu, but then the other 2 attacks, like she's got no dodge chance, and she has 800k defense, which isn't terrible, but she's also got type disadvantage. Zamasu's normals do over 1 million, so with type disadvantage as well, she's getting absolutely crushed here. Kefla, we just would have to rely on dodge if we put her in slot 1. AGL Kale, I mean, she's one of those, like, she has to get hit first, and then she gets a bunch of extra defense. But, like, there's a very big possibility that she could die here as well. I really wish I had put the item on. So we can either risk dodge or die with Kefla in slot 1, or try out Kale. I mean, we'll see if Kale can come in clutch here. But this is the big problem, right? We're showcasing the team as much as we are showcasing them. And yeah, the team's just not good. 150k, and then her defense goes up, but then she gets supered. And we die. So, yeah, okay. Well, we'll jump back in and try and get a bit further this time. I'll put an item on, so we'll just cut here. Okay, so we are finally back. Had to use an item at one random point to get through one of the turns to make sure we could get here. But we get to turn 6, so we finally have the ability to exchange with the Caulifla into Kale. Of course, on turn 6, that means we also get the full orb change. So you can see here, this rotation could definitely be a little bit on the sketchy side, considering we know where the super is going to be. I think what we probably want to do, let's have a look at, so we still got the buff from the previous turn. Let's switch over to Kale and see what her start of turn defense is. 237. So bear in mind, I already talked about, if she picks up all of these orbs, she gets an insanely high level of defense for the turn. I guess we could active skill with hit to get rid of, because I kind of want the rotation to be this now. But the problem is I have to pick up all the orbs. It's the only problem with getting the orb change is that obviously it has to be in slot 1 because it changes the orb field at the start of the turn. So let's go ahead and use Caulifla's active skill. It does do damage as well, but we want it for the permanent Universe 6 buff, because then that's going to apply to the whole of the rest of the team and hopefully make the rest of the team slightly better. But we'll see how we go. I don't think the damage is going to be particularly great here, especially when we have type disadvantage. Damage is terrible, but let's be honest, we're doing it for the buff and not for the thing. So we've jumped up from 800 to 938, and then that makes Kale's start of turn 276. So if we put Kale here and pick up all of the orbs, this is the thing I was talking about, right? Where people were underestimating her defense. And I think some people did misread that it has to be orbs obtained and not key, because we only need her to get to 24 key, and next to another Universe 6 character, she starts the turn at 19 key. So it's not really difficult for her to get that key that she needs. But once we pick up the orbs here, I guess actually we can't see it until she gets hit, because when she gets hit, she gets the percentage increase. So we can do it here live. Let me get the calculator up here. So it's 66% per key. So times 24 is 1,584%, right? So if we do, so let me try and remember, 1584. So her defense, 247,997 plus 1584% is 4.17 million. So when she gets hit in slot 1, she's got 4.1 million defense and guard. That means that she will tank a super that is like 6 million damage for double digits, right? So she can exchange with Caulifla. She's got attack and defense 200% and guard. She gets a crit when attacking for her first attack. So like Caulifla always dodges with her first attack received, Kale always crits with her first attack performed. When you're attacking with 12 or more keys, she gets 100% extra attack. When activating the active skill or attacking with 24 keys, she gets another 200% attack. Then there's the receiving attack, 66% defense for every key. And then if you get 6 or more orbs, she gets a guaranteed 2 additional supers. And with 23 orbs, she gets another 2 additional supers. So this is where she's obviously going to look crazy on her first turn. With all of those orbs picked up, she's doing 4 additional super attacks. And her supers, the 18 key massively raises attack for 1 turn, which is 100%. Mega Colossal raises her crit chance by 26% for 3 turns. Obviously, the first attack is going to be a guaranteed crit anyway. And then all of the other attacks are greatly raising and increasing her crit and dodge chance by 6%. So each individual extra super that she does is going to do so much extra damage. do we rely on hit to just dodge the super? He is going to get a bunch of extra defense, and he gets extra dodge chance against an enemy when he hits them with his super attack. So I think we probably can rely on him to dodge the super here, hopefully. So yeah, Kale, of course, takes double-digit damage, and then 27.8 million. I mean, that's decent, but I think it's the fact that she's one of those characters, a lot of her damage is going to come from doing all of these additionals, right? Because she got 27, now she gets 18 with the crit. Then we get another additional, jumps up to 19.6. So then what, we're going to jump up to like 21. And she still would have another super after this, and then potentially the hidden potential as well. So he dodges, so then we jump up to 22.4. Didn't crit on that one, but then there's the hidden potential. It's only a normal, sadly, but that's enough to finish him off. So good thing we didn't use the active skill, because it would have been a waste. Kale just absolutely clears him out there. I had the animations turned off at the start of the previous turn, so yeah, this is the animation that you get when their reversible exchange is ready. We had the scour on that turn, obviously, because we had hit on a full Universe 6 rotation after his power-up. So let's see. I guess there's so many attacks on the turn. Kale's not really built up crazy amounts. So when it comes to their active skills, like I say, Caulifla does ultimate damage to the enemy and gives all Universe 6 allies 1 key and 16% attack and defense for the rest of the battle, which is a permanent buff. Obviously, if we exchange into Kale, her buff is ultimate damage to the enemy and then gives her a permanent key plus 6 and 40% attack. Now, we can try that out in some other videos when we're using them on other teams, but realistically for this team, we're going to want to use the Caulifla one again, right? Because we've already seen that, so we're just going to skip it. So we use the Caulifla one here so that everybody gets the buff again. So now the team has double Caulifla active skill active. So Caulifla's start of turn defense 661. She obviously doesn't have the buff from the previous turn. Kale's now up to 1 million with guard because we have a Caulifla on the rotation. So I guess what we want to do is do this. Transform into Kale again here. And then let's grab all of these so we can see all of the attacks from her. Tech Caulifla obviously guaranteed dodges because of the team build, and then we just have to hope for the best with STR Kale. If she dies here, it is what it is, and we'll just end off the video here. But good example, she's going to get super attacked straight away. This super attack from AGL Goku Black and Zamasu does 4.2 million damage, and as you can see, we took double digits in slot 1 pre-attack. So yeah, like, I don't know why people were doubting it. I've been saying it since we saw her details on paper, but Kale is going to be a monster slot 1 tank. And the thing is, if you're running her on other teams, because the Universe 6 team is limited on who we can run, who's actually runnable anyway, but let's say we're running them on one of their other leader skills with a bunch of other, like, Super Saiyans or some other Pure Saiyans. If we start throwing some support units into the mix, because bear in mind, we're not really getting any support on this team, you start throwing in characters that are dropping like 40-50% defensive support to allies, because these guys are Super Saiyan 2, right? So on some sort of Pure Saiyan build or whatever we wanted to try and do, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku is on the same team as them, and gives Power Beyond Super Saiyan allies, once he transforms, 70% defense and 10% damage reduction. So you imagine if Super Saiyan 4 Goku is on the same rotation as this Kale, I don't think there is a single boss attack in the game that could deal damage to her in slot 1 if she has 24 key. And then even if you have slightly less than 24 key, her defense is still going to be super high with guard, and then that 10% damage reduction from Goku. Even though 10% isn't a huge amount, once you throw that on units that are already very strong defensively, then they start looking really, really good. And now you can see here, STR Kale, while she probably wouldn't do very well against the super, is able to tank here against the normal attacks. So this is where we get to see Kale on a turn where she maybe isn't going to have as much key, so we'll see how we go. She starts the turn at 300k. We can go ahead and get the 3 orbs here, so she's at 21. Right, so again, if we would do the quick calculations here, so 21 times 66 is 1386, 1386 defense, percentage, like extra defense she's going to get when she supers, right? So if she's at 300839 plus 1386% is 4.47 million. So the people that are like, oh, she's only going to be good when you get like all these orbs and get tons of key. Like I say, next to another Universe 6 girl character, Battlefield Diva gives us 2 key at level 10, right? It is 2 and not 3. No, it's 3 at level 10. So that's 3 from Battlefield Diva. I don't know why I clicked on Fierce Battle. Fierce Battle doesn't give us any key. Annoyingly, the private server takes ages to load the links. But 3 key from Battlefield Diva. I think maybe that's why I miscalculated it the first time, because I thought Battlefield Diva was 2. 3 from Tournament of Power, so that's 6. Then Warriors of Universe 6 gives us another 2, so that's 8. And then Prepared for Battle, unfortunately, the Kefla doesn't have, otherwise we'd have slightly more. So she's getting 8 key just from the links on this turn, right? Damn, we don't have good orbs for Kefla. I mean, we know she's not going to get supered, so I think she should be okay tanking a normal, I guess, if she doesn't dodge. But let's see. So, obviously, Kale in slot 1, we know is going to tank everything here for double-digit damage. I mean, she's got more defense than their super attack does damage-wise, even without the fact that she has guard. So, yeah, even without the full 24 key for the turn, 21 key, she tanks their super attack for double-digit damage, and that was with us only being able to pick up like a rainbow orb and a physical orb, or there was 2 AGL and a physical. So regardless, we were able to get 3 key on this turn, and that was it for Kale. And she's still able to hit the level where she can tank this boss defensively perfectly fine. And of course, if we did use her active skill, so if we're going to use them on a different team where we don't have a bunch of Universe 6 allies, and therefore Caulifla's active skill becomes kind of pointless, her active skill then gives her 6 key, so you're basically just going to be getting 24 key every time, and it gives her 40% extra attack. So not only is she dropping all these attacks here and doing this kind of damage, but she's tanking for double-digit damage against all of these attacks, right? So the Kale part of the card, I think, is definitely better than the Caulifla. Like, Caulifla having a 100% chance to dodge against the first attack of the turn obviously is very useful. But on certain situations, like, let's say, yeah, this turn, for example, we couldn't put Caulifla in slot 1. Because she'll auto-dodge the first attack, but then she has no dodge chance against the other 2 attacks. So the Universe 6 team needs a really strong slot 1 character. And like I say, fortunately on this build, because we've got enough Peppy Gal's Universe 6 characters, Tech Caulifla has a 100% chance to dodge. And yeah, AGL Kale, look at that. Start of turn only has 529k defense. But there you go, 2 physical orbs, and then boom, we've got 24 key for Kale. So I think it is just people misreading her passive when the info first dropped, and they thought it was 66% defense per key sphere obtained. Because as you can see here, like, we've had absolutely no trouble getting key for her whatsoever. So not something that you need to worry about. Well, clicked those really badly, didn't I? So yeah, Kale absolutely could have gone in slot 1, but put her in slot 2 here just because of the auto dodge from Caulifla. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, even if Kale's taking double digits from everything, we'd rather take 0 damage than double digits. Plus, if we put her in the middle, it gives AGL Kale a few more links, and it gives our LR Kale actually to have Super Saiyan. I don't think, do they have Golden Warrior? Gives her more links active to put her in the middle, right? And then Tech Caulifla just dodges everything because she has a 104% chance to dodge. So, I mean, that's the thing. Tech Caulifla has stayed such a valuable unit because obviously against the Pure Saiyan or Universe Survival Saga, damn, that was 40 million. As long as they don't disable dodge, then obviously she auto-dodges. And then on a team build with enough Universe 6 Peppy Gals, she auto-dodges anyway regardless. So, yeah, she's definitely very, very strong. This AGLK, if she got an easy A, that would be so good. But like, Tech, Kale and Caulifla we would put on the team over... probably, I would say probably the STR Kale. I think AGL Kale is probably still slightly better than STR Kale, although, I don't know. That's some big damage. It's unfortunate that she's one of those units where you have to take that first hit for her to then get her buff, which is kind of unfortunate. So, yeah, this isn't the best turn for Key, for sure. Because, yeah, if I want to try and make sure I get the orbs for Kale, or for Kefla, I kind of have to do this. Drop those down so we can get those. Alright, so we'll see here now. She's only at 19 key. So 19 times 66 is still 1,254% extra defense. So she's at 300,839 start of turn, plus 1,254%. So she still goes up to 4 million pretty much flat. It's like 4,073,000. 4073, right? So she's still got 4 million defense with guard. So even with her only having 19 key, 4 million defense and guard means she tanks like a 5 to 6 million damage super for double digit damage. And these guys do 4.2. So she just tanks their super for double digit damage in slot 1. Even with, that was her worst possible turn. We got 1 key for her and she tanked their super attack for double digit damage. The only difference is obviously without picking up a lot of orbs, she's not going to get a lot of additional supers. So that's one thing that you do have to bear in mind, is that Kale has the potential to put out a lot of damage on the turns where you're able to get orbs with her. And then on the turns where you can't, she's not going to be doing a lot of damage, but she's a slot 1 tank, which is, I think, more valuable. Like, that's her role, especially on this team, is that she's going to be a monster slot 1 tank. So her not doing the craziest amount of damage isn't the end of the world. And then we have like STR Kale, who's Kefla, who's obviously been stacking up attack, is now dropping the 30 odd million attack stat supers here. She's the one doing the damage, but of course her defense is a bit more on the questionable side. I mean, with the double Caulifla, like Universe 6 active skill buffs, she's going to be a little bit better. But yeah, 320k from a normal attack. She didn't dodge any of them. We got the 6 orbs, and that's, again, right there. That's one of the reasons why this team is just not good. Like Kefla can do some serious damage, but she's dodge or die against these tough bosses. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But I think the LR, Kale and Caulifla, they're definitely very good. Kale is a monster tank, but the team sucks. So realistically, we want to run them on some different teams, which we will do for some other videos. But let me know what you guys think of them down below. What do they need to do for Universe 6? It's got to be a ton of easy A's, really, by the end of the celebration. Otherwise, this team is not going to be looking good. Let me know your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.